Well, fortunately, we've got the Clean Water Act, which is some of the nation's greatest, our country's greatest legislation, which empowers private citizens like me and the water keepers and river keepers here in North Carolina to go out and find these polluters and sue them to make them stop. So we've had good success in the courts, and the waterkeeper has just filed a suit, I think, yesterday up on the eastern shore of Maryland, and they've got several notices of intent to sue farms here in North Carolina. But, you know, if you expect, or if the public expects that the legislative branch of our government is going to help, then they're badly mistaken. Unfortunately, the industry has just got such a grip on the legislators that there are too few who are willing to step up and condemn this industrial practice, the industrial practices that are causing the problems. And so we're not going to get any help there. We don't get any help out of the executive branch for the same reason. Just real quickly, I'll tell you, we had Governor Easley here in North Carolina who, when he took office about 8 years ago, he promised everyone that in 5 years or less every lagoon would be gone. He ran on that, and then 8 years later we had more lagoons on the ground than when he took office. So if you rely on the executive branch or the legislature to help you, you're not going to do well. But the courts, so far, we've had some success there.
Quickly, David, two things. One, you end the book by saying, you know what, we're all implicated in this. How so, and what can we do?
Well, we all demand cheap meat and food. People go to big box stores and buy big boxes of frozen meat. Maybe not your viewers, but certainly people they know.
Oh, plenty of them do. I eat meat too. Don't feel on the spot.
Fred Kerserman, who's an expert on this kind of thing, he's from the University of Iowa, we're all trapped in a system where the cheapest possible price, and that's the price on the tag at the store, not the overall environmental cost and health cost. So even the producers are stuck in this machine where they have to, get under the competitors, and to do that, you have to raise just the economy of scale requires growing animals in huge, huge numbers. If I could just quickly talk about the executive branch very quickly. Obama, and I will be writing about this on Huffington Post as well, made a number of promises in the campaign, and they were all great, and some he has completely backed off on. But others he's starting to fulfill, and I'll be writing about that. But two things I think or two or three things really important. Local control so that counties can decide whether these things come in or not. A ban on antibiotic use other than to treat sick animals, in other words, for growth promotion, et cetera. And a third I think is really important is what's called the packer ban, but the whole idea of processing plants. They're the neck in the hourglass. This is the production, this is the consumption. In order to get your product to the consumer, you have to go through this very, very narrow passage that's controlled by a small group of powerful companies that keep out the competition. I'd love to talk to you about why they keep out the competition at some point. I've been thinking about it a lot, and it finally occurred to me why they're afraid of their own customers. Because if their customers knew how this product was being raised, they would seek out alternatives.